Today na the 10th day of May 2023. 45 more days for make we get to a general election. 45 more days. Not the fight again. The song will be the play just now. The outro. The person will help put the song. He say for make we all go come together and build Sierra Leone so that it go turn the new America in Africa. If you think so, you go say that the hopes very high. But if we want for build Sierra Leone, make it be the new America in Africa, who shall we get for start? We get for acquire the land. We start with a solid foundation. With waiting again. Because everything get for start from the foundation. We don't get the land. We will spend another time for talk about that. Close to the election 2018, IMF become with some conditions them for the then APC government will be there in power. The time the APC be feel to say that one they go make them unpopular. Even though they say now because they know say it go money the people them. Because it become close to election. So they know say if you do anything we go get for do with fuel, it will get for money them. So then tawapa IMF. Because at that time they be need some structural adjustment. Well, 45 days, 9 left now. But inside April, from the 17th to the 28th, IMF been send a team for go Salone. And the team don't do the reports. When they go, waiting them fair not, then be get for come to a conclusion for say the government of Sierra Leone need for tighten the fiscal monetary policy. IMF say after they don't look, the fiscal monetary policy need for be strengthening. This is one thing where this administration, even where they say, oh, the MCC, they always they fail a fiscal policy. Always. Then they fail the fiscal policy. Even with the other high scores the way then they get. But failure kinde. Okay. April 26th. This na our status. Them been tell we. Yeah? Let's just take quick one from them. Where the IMF been come Salone. Status say Sierra Leone President Julius Maada Bio, he meet with the IMF Executive Director. ahead of the 6th and the 7th review, and he expressed stronger political commitment to fruitful program. Waiting status say, where the team become, now they tell you so. Yeah? State House on Wednesday, the 26th of April, been tell we say, President Bill be meet with the executive director of IMF and a review team. And tell we say, they may come for can visit as part of the ongoing process of the country in 6th and 7th review program. And say IMF will not approve the 6th and 7th reviews of Sierra Leone performance under the extended credit facility when at the ECF arrangement. After they don't complete the 2 reviews, Salon will benefit from the final disbursement of the facility, and the executive board will also grant a waiver for the non-observance of the quantitative performance situation on the domestic primary fiscal balance of the central government. The Minister of Finance, Sheikh Ahmed Fantamadi Bangura, tell the president, say Salon, they host, because Nami can go introduce the IMF team to the president. So we each day night tell and say Salon, they host the delegation from IMF for make them negotiate the country, which I be tell you just now, the extended credit facility, the ECF. They say, now then they make the executive director of IMF, then at the country. And not so no more become, but he become an advisor. And also the IMF mission chief to Sierra Leone. And the new resident representative na the country. So he say, Papa President, we think say important for take the opportunity for make we can pay a courtesy call to you and try for give you a gist of the level of a conversation we don't get with the team. Executive Director of IMF, William Nakun Yada, tell President Bill thank you because he creates time for meets with them and for in level of commitment where they show of political will to the IMF mission within a salon is they say is stress the review they come as a critical moment when the global economy when they face many challenges, many shocks from the pandemic, the spillovers from the Russia-Ukraine war. They say the IMF boss say because of this, it will affect many countries them in terms of the import bills and then prices for food, fuel, and other sources of energy. Now, waiting status say now they report for issue, but soon now we can see who side them be all be able for agree waiting and agree upon, yeah. But I glad for say this discussion, it go before for make it set a strong foundation for this review, also for subsequent program them with IMF and deeper. So in particular, the difficult reforms where the government they take at this time are commendable. You and say the IMF boss say the difficult reforms where the government they take then gladly for the government. Eh? We the citizens might not like them. I asked that the other day, say Commonwealth to ECOWAS to IMF or World Bank or who think say Africa government and the afraid. Who's one? The reforms them not go down well with we the people. They self agree say it is difficult, but they're glad for that because then they go help them forget their own money back. All right, slow continue. The difficult reform where the government they take is commendable, especially the revenue measures. The revenue measures. Especially the revenue measures to try and take care of fiscal discipline and for make them generate adequate revenue flows. For make them go able to ensure the fiscal position remain on a sustainable path. Now the mission and the way IMF become for. Now the mission that one day. So after you see that waiting 2023, 2024 financial, you don't know now how I come out, Oh, all the gum will say, what see they even say, if now they want 3% more where you go eat na restaurant, high-end restaurant, you for pay extra tax for that. Even though they pay just, you for pay for that back. We not even start the agriculture find it. They say, okay, well, have tax-free will be give for agricultural implements them, equipment, we don't pull up. And the worker wouldn't become worker. Now make we see that one day. So this na like a gamble. Now in this administration they do. They either agree for dance with IMF in tune right now, or refuse. Well, the last time, now the same thing like this been come, the APC bitter will say they can't tell and say for pull subsidy per fuel. They don't agree. They fight against the IMF. Will the people still decide otherwise? So this administration look and say, okay, well, let's say for do all this thing for fiscal discipline and everything. So if we turn against IMF, what if the people can't turn against we back? So rather, but let us dance to IMF in tune. Let us see what the results get for look like. At least nobody not go use as campaign message. See? Now because them bad, now IMF don't turn him back from them. Alright. Let's continue. But let's just behind that part there. Especially the revenue measures to try and take care of fiscal discipline. I don't know if IMF know the advice them how then they spend by themselves. I don't know if they know the advice them. Because the pinch, now when the ordinary citizen, now they feel a more past them. And generate adequate revenue flow to ensure the fiscal position remain on waiting sustainable path. Not a one time more, but as something where for they take go. The IMF boss say 2 teams will engage closely on some of the few remaining issues will be there for that 6th and 7th review process. He point out again, say the review been very critical as he go help them for report to the IMF board and make a case for Sierra Leone to get a trigger disbursement. You cannot eat your cake and have it. You want a trigger disbursement? Then you get for suffer force. You get for suffer force, forget that trigger. You get for feel the pinch for make you go get that disbursement day. You get for feel that. IMF, what the parliamentarian they say, all wetin they want. Una no ye that side. Well, no, I feel say IMF can feel to say now we all the suffer. But they not can know. Say not so we all. I don't think say they can know. Well, President Bio be welcome the executive director and the team to Salon, and he be telling thank you for confirming say the Bio government committed to the programs them. Yeah. Then they fit with IMF. Then they bet the hand with the feed you. Yeah. So, President Bio glad for that. And he say he want to tell the IMF team thank you because they don't be of great support to the progress where Salon don't make so far. He said the relationship where Salon gets with IMF and with the other one them is very important to we. It be just what remind us say when he become over as the head of state, we took over governance, the country been there out of programs. You know why, I don't tell what the APC say and waiting the Bio-led government say. But we be able for undertake certain reforms. We be there out of program because what the IMF say for do, APC say ne need do. But President Bio come, he say we be able for undertake certain reforms for show commitment enough for convince una. The subsidy for fuel, APC no agree, wa who do am. For una no say who ready for work with una. For una no say who ready for work with una. Okay? For show commitment enough to convince you within 7 months for make una come back, for make una help we come back to track. He said the commitment, it remains. But of course, as we all aware, will be take over 2018, none of we not be the expect waiting with the experience now internationally. Waiting Andy, Ukraine, where COVID officially they say in London. He said, but when you begin a journey in a turbulent international financial situation, he say it's tough for even if not the best economy begin that way, it go tough for them. However, for Winner Salon, we have shown fiscal discipline with a lot of effort made in our revenue mobilization. Revenue na the money where Salon government get for collect locally in the country. You don't understand, We for able to raise money. And the only way we will sabi right now na tax. for make government get money. Because they say, oh, no, they export. How much are we investing in things them we for make with the export? We can't just export not on magic. Where they say waiting a Cinderella and the waiting the magic na wine or whatever they call her. I tell you just about waiting foundation. If nobody know one for invest for that foundation day, any administration we can the turn blind eye para. Who still go begin export the export? When? IMF they not care. All we know right now for waiting. Collect tax. Are the easiest way than the way government fee say they get money. More burden per we. Tax na bad thing? No. Because government's not able to survive without having money. But when you collect the money now, what you do with it? Now in the other thing. Now in the other case where they don't come aside. Alright. My Musa said this IMF business here, when we go left for discuss loan and focus on using the one where we already get in good use. It can really surprise me when leaders they compete with that trust loan passing company. Alright. Well, we won't camp at the agreement anyway. Let's just done now. I want to assure you that we are still fully committed to the IMF program. He said, but the nature of what they go through right now. Now, ain't a problem. He said, but notwithstanding that, as a government and as a country, we are fully committed to the IMF and its program. He assure the IMF team again. That will be on the 26th day of April 2023. While the team don't come, inside it, they say they go get two team we go talk. What team them finally agree upon? At the conclusion of the mission, this now the statement will come out from IMF. The Sierra Leone, that one day argue now the 26th. So how much week then take soon? Maybe 2 weeks? Yes, 2 weeks. Now then they give me waiting they agree upon. Oh, sinful sweet. The Sierra Leone authorities and IMF staff team have reached a staff level agreement on the 6th and 7th reviews of Sierra Leone economic program under the ECF, Extended Credit Facility arrangement. The agreement is subject to approval by IMF management and the executive board. But this now what I agree on staff level. Now the staff say but you get the big allejo them. Now then get for make the agreement. Una can girl una want done at the staff level, but waiting the big allejo then say now get for be final. So then want make we understand that first. Sierra Leone's economic challenges have intensified. Yeah, Papa God. With multiple external shocks. With economic challenge. He say don't triangle we. We with economic challenges, with multiple external shocks and looser than warranted macroeconomic policies. They want to say while growth in 2022 is estimated at 3.6%, that will be the estimate say Salon economic will grow at, in line with the projection at the time of the fifth review in July 2022. That's they say we go grow at 3.6%. Inflation has continued to rise. This is what they agree upon now. They all agree say inflation as alone. Mba. The currency has depreciated sharply. Wow. Inflation continued to rise. Not to started rising, no. If it don't they rise and it just they go up, then inflation. The currency has depreciated sharply. Not so that the bank governor be promised we. Not so that they be go what you go and can tell you again say you know get right over the currency back. Now the foreign exchange, because we don't tell you say the foreign exchange not to the bank they determine them. But with currency depreciated sharply. The debt related risk have increased. The debt related risk have increased. You know, don't they? The soaring cost of living has worsened. Yeah. Lag over all waiting they agree upon first. Inflation has continued to rise. The currency has depreciated sharply. The debt-related risk have increased. The high cost of when they say soaring, now high go up. The high cost of living in the worse already. High level of food insecurity. High level of food insecurity. I hope say whoever na presidential candidate, the APC, the NURP, everybody, una manifesto for address this. Even the SLPP, their manifesto. What you want for you now? This is the report card where IMF give you right now. Yes, so they can they let us see other areas them. But this is the report card right now. What are the solutions? When them political party where they tell we say we for vote for them. What are the solutions we then get for we? What in? Because you not go want let person can still they can tell me about waiting. Ukraine war, COVID-19. No. Mama Conte, thank you for the stars. Now the report card this. What do we get right now? Even President Bill, if I explain to we how we ready for this one. Because right now, inflation, they continue for rise. Who that go can bring and down? What's in the policy the way you go put in place for bringing inflation down our country? The currency don't depreciate sharply. How you go get and wait back, like come up? How? The debt-related risk don't increase. Just the trust fantare. The high cost of living. It don't bad off. Already, high level of food insecurity day. So anyone can change this one here for we. And I can't tell we back say, oh, even the next 5 years not do for changer. Well, no come. You know, don't they? Weak. Lefu. Weak. Where you weak? Not to as in 7 days a week. Go. Where you not get strength? Where you not get strength program performance over the course of 2022 resulted in the delay of the 6th review. Weak program performance. The country not perform fine. IMF say we not perform fine. Weak program performance over the course of 2022 resulted in the delay of the 6th review. We not perform fine. However, program performance has improved considerably since. You say you don't want oil in your hand, but you want eat the cake with the drip oil. And the law is, you not for use fork, you not for use spoon, and you hand you for use. Now in this IMF they do it so. You cannot eat your cake and have it unless the oil left in your hand. Now IMF they do it so. See, they explain to we all how we dey right now. See, now they explain to we always tell you. But now they tell you, say, however, program performance has improved considerably since. The performance go improve whilst we the citizen they suffer am. The 2022 wetin make that 10 day, well, COVID be just done, then everybody they try for fend footing, then they try for chook. You go see say the fuel before they make it don't go up, it don't go up. All waiting now then commodity zero for make you get money. All you don't see, you don't understand. Now so the game they play. But it don't improve for IMF. Then that's a good one. The authorities don't requested an extension of the program to November 2023 to accommodate an 8th and final review to continue building on recent reforms and achieve programs objectives. Evan Smith, you say send me message. Oh, I will try for listening. I'm sorry about that, yeah? But I'll try for listening and get back to you. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So, that one where they call that tax. Where if you feel to say no get for work, good share. Now, maybe the government don't do that one day. So that at the end of the day, by the time November 2023 they come, then go down they find in the eyes of IMF. Jelly. They don't go 8,000 leon so now in a salon. Jelly. 8,000. IMF condition. Now IMF you want paddy? Well. Ready no more now. Yeah? Let me do. We are in for a long run with this friendship and IMF. The government don't say dear. On a extend until November 2023. So we will accommodate the 8th and final review. We will continue for build on the recent, listen to the word, recent reforms. We go achieve the program and objective. Now the recent reform they want in the where you businessman, I like you loss. Now your own business now one day. That your capital money, 3%, they still want sparam. They still want sparam. Now the new laws done the way don't come. So right now, man, hey, all right. Antonio Masako they ask jelly 8,000 leons for one. All right, slowly go. The authorities and IMF team agreed on the need to tighten fiscal and monetary policies. The only one way they go tighten, not to for themselves. They need to take pay cuts. They need to take pay cut too. No suicide. When all this still they talk, no suicide. Then take pay cut. Instead, 600 na be the minimum wage. So now they don't put 200 day to 800. But that 200 self, the 200, it gets GST param. 600 na no get. So, as a matter of fact, not to 800. Now 770,000 na the minimum wage. Because 15% still left at the 200 when at the GST. 15%. It is param. But now, if we come for ask government say, hey, what's happy with the wage bill just they go up? Now that 200 and then go out say, hey, we don't make increase of minimum wage, not to. I don't need to go tell we. But then they come to say, well, let me cut by we safe back. We not so president they take commercial flight. Stuff will lie. Think for go take commercial flight for private jets. Private jets. Yes, now president they take. President or other people have them for going in at the same plane. They know they cut them spending. No. But they don't promise IMF. Say bra una job here with 10 November. Them people yeah. Una go see the money una want to dey una. Who they can inside the program fine, who they adjust una know how do one. Magic salon. Una give it 10 November. My people, are we ready? Okay. The authorities and the IMF team don't agree on the need for tightening fiscal and monetary policy while in the strengthening policy coordination with the view to restore macro stability and containing increasing risk to the debt insustainability. IMF na the bigger power. Waiting they make their own side look fine, na they want. You go put money on side, where you get out, you don't fair well your money come out. Na in this. You go put your money on side and you still get voice day. Though you don't fail your money come out too. They outline only the problem we dey now. When a cause of then condition. But they not force you for take the money. Eh? They not force you. You want time, fine. You know want time, we like that. Fiscal policy will focus on domestic revenue mobilization. Bam. The fiscal policy, it focus on how government for make money domestically inside the country, locally, by area, by business, by anywhere you want to take them. But government forgets money, they forget money. I make NRE. Me they wait. Let us suicide and they begin charge for extra suitcase. Oh no, we never see another airport. Now we in airline get business. Airport business. I like a 20 suitcase to airport business. The airport and the airline they don't arrange. They arrange. They don't arrange. They arrange you. But to we because of this, domestic revenue mobilization. But how can we now for raise money domestically? Well, now almost parents so. Hi. Fiscal policy will focus on domestic revenue mobilization and expenditure containment while protecting social spending. Okay. So I wonder revenue mobilization and expenditure. For the mobilization, how for carry the money, not a problem. That expenditure they forget it. What to for them more? What to for them? Revenue mobilization will build on the new Finance Act 2023. Bam! At the agreement. So anything where they inside that Finance Act 2023, fumble them. Are you ready? Revenue mobilization will build on the new Finance Act 2023 and recent revenue administration measures and will be anchored in the new medium-term revenue strategy. Are we IMF so? Are waiting? We yeah, Papa God. Yeah. What's the future for Sierra Leone though? A better life for people them. After you hear this, and we'll be done deal with small thing number will be the inside that Finance Act 2023. What's in the future? Waiting. We want to live a big lifestyle. We have to pay for it. Get for pay for them. Let's continue. And tell you about waiting. Domestic revenue mobilization. So the revenue mobilization now inside the Finance Act 2023. Then tell you about waiting expenditure containment. Expenditure containment measures will involve rationalizing discretionary spending. Discretionary spending. this na something wey, well, it depends to you. Discretionary spending. It depends to you. You get papa we no like for take transport. He prefer for take him motocar. Yeah? He get in larger money. In larger money than in pocket. Where this money, what he do for? Now for either buy diaper for the pikin or for put fuel per him motocar. If he buy diaper for him pikin, then he go end up going for take public transport. And he no like public transport. So the papa gets a choice. Discretion. What he think. But oh no say the papa in like for driving your motocar and not like public transport. What you think say go happen? He go tell him, mommy say, mommy, cut pa you lapa. Make nappy for that pikin. Let me dey go. Because what he do, he no like for take public transport. After all, he nappy, that will be the use. Put powder there, giam. You check pa you lapa. Mommy say, no, me lapa, they all, even the other lapa day, the other day. Check param. I go buy for you where I get. What thing mommy get for do? Mommy check pa in lapa. Papa hop inside the motorcar, go na gas station, buy gas, move on. Business as usual. But mommy na house, they feel and say, na in favorite lapa that one day, he don't cut so. Sierra Leone. Discretion. Spending. Listen ya. Yeah? Now that expenditure now they talk about two. And now they lose focus. The expenditure containment. The money where government in they spend out. How them for able for reduce how much then they spend. Government for make more money can inside, but they not for spend beaucoup. Expenditure containment, revenue mobilization, now how much they can inside. Then supposed for raise beaucoup money, but how much then they spend, no then for reduce them. I give an example of the discretionary spending. Fambulem. Let's say waiting at the next one. Reducing energy subsidies. Yeah. So if the electricity will not get safe us, if we say it don't go back, if we say it don't go back, no surprise though. No surprise. No surprise. Reducing energy subsidies. Yeah. The same IMF, we tell say inflation they go up. We tell we say this, we tell we say that. We tell, Now they agree back say, no, then see on they do for cushion for the people, on a puller. Because they spend too much. Alright. And improving the efficiency of capital expenditure on waiting. On waiting. Okay. Because what's capital who want spend pa? Who for improve? Then they try for show we say, not to the tax no more, who go bring money. But also how they spend them. agriculture. Government now they do business. Capital expenditure and will benefit from a planned medium-term wage bill. A planned medium-term wage bill. Management strategy. We go and see that one day, that wage bill day. We get a management strategy. Bang me one see. Eh? I want to see. They're not left handed. Social spending, including on the school feeding program, will be protected. So then go protect the school feeding program. Okay. Reform efforts will also focus on strengthening budget preparation and execution while containing domestic arrears accumulation. But again, trust no more na them bank than domestic or central bank safe. And say for contain them. Okay, there they go. The central bank committed to tightening monetary condition to bring down inflation and contain currency depreciation. Hey, Papa God. La you that side the back for you. The central bank say then go tighten monetary condition so that they go bring down the inflation and then go able for contain the currency depreciation. I trust the one holding a central bank say they understand. And enough so they say tighten monetary condition. Remember, what the bank governor be telling? All the bump talk the way tell me for go change money, not change money. You get for go to enforce. And then go approve. Say that you need this type of money. Where are the policy then they? That's how how they go? The central bank say they committed for tightening the monetary condition for bringing down inflation and contain the currency depreciation while further strengthening monetary policy communication for help anchor inflation expectation. They also plan for take steps for revive the interbank foreign exchange market. Maintaining a flexible exchange rate system and continue for build foreign exchange reserve we go boost resilience to the economic shocks. I must reserve will get safe now. We first then and we first then a taboo. And then reserve I can talk. How you want talk? Reserve. Go there. All right. Okay. Now I left the bank governor now. Foreign exchange reserve will boost. Okay. Macroeconomic condition are expected to stabilize over the medium, but the risk to the outlook are high. to stabilize the macroeconomy. This was how they do. And say, but the risk for that expectation then they is very high. And say we growth. They expect inside 2023 to 2.7%. But it will recover inside 2024. Then the project say inflation go gradually decline. Inflation go gradually decline to single digits over the medium term. Policy stance while free foreign exchange reserve go stabilize. They're not hopeful thinking there. Okay. But anyway, let's go through the hopeful thinking. Let's go through them. And the last part. Let's go through them, yeah? Let's go again. Inflation is projected to gradually decline to single digits over the medium term amid the contractionary policy stance, while foreign exchange reserve will stabilize. And they hope that one. But the risk to this outlook are high, a slower global growth, tighter global financial condition, and geographical fragmentation could weigh on external demand. We go make the real income drop and deteriorate the fiscal and external account. So even the hope Sefon and Nigiwi, then they tell back say because of the present condition waiting the go on, in order for happy. Policy implementation risks are also high amid the large adjustment need, capacity constraints, and soaring cost of living. Unless if the government no answer you for we, and then they try for say so. If they say by force, all waiting and put by this paper, and then they get for do. Where they no one take cut for themselves. Policy implementation risks are also high. For do this thing, for implementer, na risk any high. I mean the large adjustment needed for make we close that gap there. The adjustment is not funny. They self agree. Capacity constraints and soaring cost of living. It make for implement them here. Pass if the government on blind eye by we. Now in this. You don't hear again. You don't hear again. I say me no for the say What do you expect? How you get for look like for we? How? Now IMF. Now we party. We want for let them be we party. God help we. Usman, welcome on board, sir. Let's do one quick. We cannot say this guy forget a lot. What do you get for we?
Okay. Thank you very much, Lepone, for a Calvary platform, and thanks for you talking us through all this inflation and IMF them economic outlook. For me, most of the time, submission you always hit around there silently. Because when I can always follow them, I can see how IMF then they do things and meetings they wouldn't they hold. But they be not they get only meetings there. When a way for let them go review economic during the out any year, then can try to get the economic outlook. But there was a time again I will make a submission regarding the credit score, the one that we can give you credit scores. We want the way we do business partner or we loan, do no partners, and the one that we really send external for can check the credit score are based on with development, how we can interpret them with we own economy and how things then will work between the economy day with your own plan because it all comes down to how you dey measure your information, where they show you indices in terms of the economy. When you fail for let you look how the indicators they are, we use for measure how your information of your inflation they go, how your revenue they grow, how your revenue impact per client, you know that over capital, each person who you get, and how your debts they pay, what are the interest rates, then you get your GDP now. We see that money where they collect or what are they collect, we in a million something, we in a asset form either gold, diamond, or that money, or that one who they call reserve, who did they. So how you dey compare them one now, but you look to what you dey spend. So it brings these challenges of then two what they are on a monetary and fiscal policy what they talk of. If they talk of the banking on because they at the last side, what they use that word say lender of last resort, we you for go take in case you add up now. So now they are the last place for go take. But you get for don't manage first. You the government as your fiscal policy. We will work with the government, with the bank. But you they see all around they not been they work very well in terms of whether they say now policy me responsible and act are responsible. Government they bring them finance policy and then they bring them own way with and they put the laws for money. Then the bank back even they try for ignore in terms of responsibility based on the relationship will be there between them. Okay, always they talk here most times. So between that one day, we find out say there this you know being stability, a lot of risk being there. That risk they would on can now lead up to this stagflation. Not even inflation will be the expecting a normal inflation, but a stagflation. Because last year they talking about 27 point something thousand leons old money per £1. We have been just about 8 9. So you don't go today 27. So but despite all that one, we don't they see how then don't they get them margin there of profit who for kinds as revenue you know they work again. We not been they see if most of even the customers at some point who been they deal with in terms of business, if you look deeply, some of them will be they lose them and some of them they renew the contract. So you don't they see how them performance indicates I don't they show it for say yes, the economic growth and based on the outlook what they don't give, you know they work towards development. But because of again credit scores they are because with IMF, then until we say now a big squeeze, what we talk about here, they don't send it out, they call it a big squeeze. And because of this big squeeze, they expect say the big squeeze of the fund when they come, they're not able for gear again based on the global economy. Because in the global economy, you get remember, you get the developing countries, you get the industrial country. So all man get your own package. So when even they talk about say, well, what about the global issue? Yes, they wouldn't make the outlook, despite the creditor system you can query, but in general with the agreement, then the different get a different outlook and different things they wouldn't they tell you. Say like an area of USA, what did they expect say will able for help with the economy now because yesterday and towards today we see a big meeting in terms of how Biden they try to adjust this. But what would they expect say their own area now something to do with interest rates. something like interest rate is the watershed of interest rate to capital spending in terms of the big people who own a microeconomy that they don't become so rich because of the interest rate when they get it. So what happened? The bank they slop down with the with the cryptocurrency. So would I own because of even that silver something bank and other banks they would all become having issue not because of them they give more profit interest rates to the one they open they do business. So you see Biden and Brian say, well, he no go get that threshold of the one that we don't keep them money they lost and they will get them back. Now the profit of capitalism because he not mean they like capitalism. So the big money people and they get more and more, then the rich then they suffer. So then get a different issue. Now when we come to we now area of we all spending more and waiting the info in the income they come and go out. So the policy between the fiscal and the monetary you know when they work all thing we see the bank governor bring even they bring policies there we they try to adjust based on what he is supposed to do but inside there when you reach to the side now what you can see the stretch of the inflation it go to the point wherein you get this word where we use and call it greedflation. That is greediness, because people and what we don't get, and then decide for get more. So greediness, that's another point of inflation. But the point here is those who they profit more in certain areas, what you will not discover whose times okay see most time like the company say like the mining area where you see that revenue then the toxin for able for help small for let petrol fuel go round. And not only the petrol fuel itself, the petrol fuel, the engine of the economy, let the engine of the economy go, so you go able to move up. So you see, say now the area that will not be able to manage in terms of the side where people and where them before don't carry side for let them go able for say now them method they go apply. But because that 30% safe, when I say for return in form of a currency or forex from the sales of the we own mining yields, you know they can at the central bank when they see all around they come up then would they see the percentage of what they pay we as a ratio to what that the mining or the mineral in value cost. So all lengthy and our policies them where you now as a government you dey look say where they cut make I look me business how I go sell them. I no go rush a business like lithium. Don't go for them. Lithium, you know, before don't rush because it highly demand. If they on a way wherein you go able to find buyer, you go able to find the way yourself go put hand on the mining. You go able for even evolve loan that we go take say we can go just spend on this. So I go boost them because when I go get a market for them. So that lead you to the spending and how you go able for say you they pull the transition and development where you go able for pull so that you go get that market area where you go open in order well, that capacity of your market for let you go get that macro economy. But it all comes down to Uda and Uda they will get the indicators then. When the indicators and they move at any time, you they get that review day. You they see the review for don't be last year, you don't move. Because now at the 7th and then go do together with the 6th where they try to always put towards the outlook. But it all comes down to, again, when then they bring them policy, then get the reason. Then when you want to go take, you dey get your own reason. But based on your own reason and your tradition and what if you say, my agenda they work for now I go able for go take, let that plan they go able for work. But it all comes down to how with government in capacity, with this finance act to then therefore look into what it don't delete because source of government revenue will not see that taxation. But if you not get no other means, when them if you don't replicate like that lithium, then if you don't find a way. But now the value of them by the time we will realize it go don't go far we then go don't profit more. So you see the capitalism, you see greedflation, they come because now greediness, then they come take Then they go, they want them back, then they give small arrangement, set there, bring the contract go. So this is the problem now what they happen within the sub-Sahara, on a greedflation, now in the cause this inflation. So it all comes down to whether we get forget, they will get for look into them, indices there, or performance indicators of say this if they perform well, will the bank, if they perform the banks and market, will they see the bank, the market, what retail market of the banks, they work that too much because the relationship between the banks and the government, they work that way. Even one where they say now you therefore pay for the service of that new thing where they don't bring come that switch. Then be therefore introduce them where the government for don't they get money, the central bank from the commercial banks for even the currency where then they supply in terms of stretch. Then you get that here day. That one day not been the work because we see even the bank governor not been the accept. But it all comes down to the authority where you give the retail banks, where the commercial banks with the customer and what policy they put, and use them the central bank and then the government overview so that retail price it will always be reflected. But until that retail price within the market where the consumer go able for go get in price, we go able for accept, now in go able for help with. But how you go able for do how we resources them, we go able for replicate them. Now market to get, now market to want for sell, now business to want make, now macro economy. So all that that they get for put together, not for go bring rascal people when they come, then they can bring rascality in the economy, especially with the performance of the bank governor. With intelligence, we always say intelligence, but those are the very troublesome people in school this time when you see the performance of what if we don't do. But based on again the one them who will get, in other words, now a group of rascal policy leaders there and rascal fiscal policy because we get them back inside the government when they do all these things. See an example before they go. Today I see somebody when they talk about the ESL. Okay, in the presence of the UN and I think the former chief, I think none of the chief minister. Jacob Jesus, yes, he is. So he been there with the UN. Then they talk about this ECSL couple business. So then they talk about disbursement of this central basket fund. Then they give this and they give ESL. Then they give the press. So even that for then they try give another group some money. But me, the turn of how. Wherein they see indicator, wherein they see planning, wherein a public place they go tell say a government fund and a fund where they for development and something where they put in place. So not only for the election tomorrow, all things just scatter. Everybody go get young wing where go play, where go get impact. It say, but Alexis na 10 pound, give them more than they. In a very official thing, but to me, I understand what in the try for count to say, well, at least give them something. But when they talk of official price, that tomorrow, we get car, na table, you will look around my and say, well, we're not supposed to forget 10. But let them hold the and because like the small sector, them they don't say, no, well, at least give them this amount. But the point where that was the seriousness of how wealth revenue can, how them go sit down, then look the important areas there. Say the ESL involve all the woman, then disabled, the everything with them call today and everything. You therefore say, then they put her check her so they go no say that this go left. When we just say, well, just give them 100 or 1 billion. You say, at least just give them. So in the man that say just put you hand the bingo box and pull any number, you give them. So it come to how those policies and you see say now that person they been there and that policy before he move. So you see say the negative thing that what would they bring and the negative thoughts of what they would they say and the greediness in our mind to secure. So you see two phases. The greediness for secure at least me on place like what they get, and then it bring policies and talks like this. So it's quite contrary. Now in not the help way because the system they tell you this and tell you this, but when it comes down to what's in the heart, now in that greediness, and another one day we will not want with this influence therefore be cut down so that we're able to get that capacity. Thank you very much. As we get the big squeeze, let the squeeze of funds reflect on the squeeze of we spending. We don't they say. So, but if the squeeze of the squeeze will not squeeze on the fund on the spending, it cannot work. And we not define resources, we will get the organics and the nature we will able for progress. We will not go deplete for say we don't batter down the soil. We will take her, they will transport them. If in agriculture, we try expand and other things they will go sell. Let God help we. Let we get leaders with a focus so that we will able to get policies and act who go they work together for let development day. Let the bank government not say, well, the act day, but not to me place for do am. Then when them go to the one at the finance, the minister, instead they say, now this. And then the one when they cut the case, they should be specialized, like I they see the IMF, they spend special economists like recently, they may look for vacancy of them and they so they see specialized people and when are stakeholders who will come when they review them internally before even then come for can check because everything was not in place. Now that make you see the review was not working. Thank you very much. Let God help leaders then. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you
very
very much,
much,
sir.
us
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, very much. Sir.
We want to say thanks to us friend for your contribution today. If you just come, we break down the IMF, the meet with them be go na salon, waiting them be able for discuss, then waiting them find out. We don't lay on the table. Well, let we come with Tony. Let we hear waiting a get for we today. Welcome on board, Tony. Get the platform.
Yeah, Abraham, thanks for having me. Kushe Gabo, the family. Um, Fiscal policy, or IMF already talk about, basically always they align themselves with the fiscal policy and monetary policy, especially we are in the say government not able for control their finances very well, and they want to make sure say they're able to develop their economy wherein it can be sustainable by themselves. They're not going to depend mainly on grants and loans that they receive. So basically, in recent times, especially during this crisis, the objective of fiscal policy gained so much prominence. You understand, and because of this crisis, we especially COVID-19, and then after we get the war in Russia, Ukraine, this whole thing would happen. So basically, the fiscal policy, they look at two things here. They look at your taxation and they look at your spending. And basically for Salon, and we, I feel say the same way we try not for able to align with fiscal policy very, very well. Now we are in terms of spending. I feel say with government, especially the current administration, that side they make a big blunder. And I will outline some of the blunders that way they make. When you get an economy where now don't know the where see majority of your budgets and you funding where you get for any budgets now outside the giving, you get for make sure say you spending. I remember what I talk about fiscal policy here. You spending get for be very prudent. What I mean by that? Certain things you get for spend smart. Certain things that we know relevant. They undertake them. They invest in so many things there because say there's a global crunch wherein the fiscal, all our countries, the way they face financial crisis. And if you turn to IMF for make IMF 10 for MPO, most of IMF loans or whatever they give get conditionalities and they get adverse effects on the populace. So in finance, even when this government come, there was a tussle where they asked for make the increase or take off subsidies from the previous administration. The previous administration kicked hell no, because election in the come and then say definitely it was a very crucial period and no one let prices of anything try for keep inflation at that at par that level. So but we see say because they were need the money when they come, they have to embrace IMF conditionalities. When at the first side and the way we begin get a lot of things that where they take off a lot of subsidies. So basically, you understand? And the way I feel say we government may spend, and I'm not being concerned, especially where say traveling. I mean, one thing we even we the travel go salon. We not to say we now we think because we know the cost for tickets, ordinary tickets, all the take for say you the charter flight, you the involve in all them things that they. So I feel say a lot of things that they wait government for us. And then another thing, most governments they use not only fiscal policies, then they use monetary policies. And when you come to monetary policies, they talk about the central bank. Which we mention about the tools that we central bank to do. Most time the central bank they call what we call OMO, open market operation. Then go buy and sell securities. They go this for let them adjust inflation. And one side, one big blunder where I feel say this current governments make, where the bank governor, and we do economics, so we do elementary economics for what they call, then tell you say too much money chasing too few goods, they lead to inflation. In we context na salon, what we they see, there much more money in circulation, plenty cash. Now remember, so we get virtual cash where them mobile company where and e-commerce they give out where virtual cash. Then basically you inject we get let's say we get 5 million or 10 million leons in circulation with just for example sake. Then now on account new notes say we do redenomination. Then you can inject more cash to the existing cash because what you need to see both currency even when you go for go take money in a bank you go na them bureau place them or any side or anything they still give you the old currency. So that tells you they increase the more money in circulation. So one mistake where the central bank or the governor for don't do immediately when they put those stipulated dates say at the 31st of so month with the stop for use their money and the all money for don't side you need to take the money off and see how how you monitor it, policy, how the markets go there. You understand? And basically, I will tell you something. If they take off that excess money they wait in circulation, what will happen? Prices will begin fall. Inflation will probably get a steady level. It will take in trend. That's that point there. But not to just that number they get for do. They get for make sure say you spending. When I deal with your fiscal policy, you spending and your taxation. Because now what we see, because we not get so much industries or companies in a salon where they operate, the few where they operate, we overburden them. So all these IMF conditionalities, now IMF they say, okay, you get for take the subsidies off, you get for take this on power, you get for take this. But if we can able to generate our own resources, we build like Akiyoma, you mentioned something now I can say foundation, we build institution. We don't need IMF money. No, call it speed is speed. I remember back when this government took power, few days or 1 week, then they give revenue generated. Cash. I mean, or revenue where they generate from NRA. That tells you if they may keep that transparency, they're waiting a call and keep with spending very, very low. You understand? We not for depend on conditionalities. We not for the we always the when we are they talking about the benchmark Guinea not get IMF conditionalities them. They make it find out the prices are low because they have more businesses, more industries, more factory, more banks, more this. Total withdraw from salon. Their number one player in Guinea. Coca-Cola withdraw from salon. Now they supply salon. They're number one in Guinea. They supply. So many things that they will say. If this government get for coming to power again, they get for look at their spending. Spending was so it was so high. You understand? When you not get money, you get for spend like I say, the economy why inherits, and not meet better money. You cut down on the spending. Probably certain projects and the way we undertake, they were not relevant now because we not get money. So what they do? You generate revenue, build institution or set up the foundation, get those institutions for make them become viable. Sarah, I always mention say Sarah is a lost opportunity. Look almost mobile company than they make. You know, almost Orange they generate almost now the EBITDA earning before interest and tax amortization. You know, almost Africell they make. You know, most them mobile company they ISP and they make internet service providers. They're making huge money. Now lost area where we government them. Whoever come or whoever continue for lead we can build on those foundations or can build on those resources. No, not government not sabi to do business. Government not sabi do business. No. The more we empower, the more we able for control those things, those areas them, you empower because the essence of fiscal policy, not to just for security, the main not for reduce poverty. And if you get this kind of inflation, what they see, what's in the happen, it cause more poverty. I mean, it make people they suffer more. Just the mommy they talk this one. I know they dispute the fact say these governments of the thing. I mean, they not. I mean, I know they say them they 100% correct. But side the one no say they made blunder and I can talk. I feel say the central bank in terms of monetary policy, therefore don't empower the mobile companies. We drive e-commerce. Now try for force them say, okay, people then say, if you go buy gas, that was before they left Airtel. That was my job. Corporate and SME manager for your sell money. My role was, I mean, they go now, most of them, I go now, total, I mean, to school, work out now the MD, I go, I mean, now MP, go now different, try for see how we can roll out to call a merchant recruitment, how most of these petrol station go use e-commerce, then go use Airtel money by then. I go Adonisabut, meet Adonisabut, let people enable for top up Airtel money with the easy. People then go able for the top up EDSA. Those were my project before I left Salon. You understand? And even they gain so much roots. But again, the taxes when they face for each transaction. I remember the other day you mentioned it now. For each transaction, sales tax, for this. So what thing they discourage most of those is those outlets let them know able for use e-commerce. They say the commission rate is very low. And they're not able for because I'm away the team up now do where they receive cash, not able for old terminal and back. So you where they go buy fear for carry size. So somebody they wait for the inside the shop for the control the terminal, that POS terminal where they inside. So many things then. So government for them create a win-win situation. Especially the bank governor. I'm talking about the bank governor because e-commerce they fall under the bank governor impose you. Now the central bank they regulate all the regulation when they take for regulate the banks. Now the same regulation that they take for regulate e-commerce. Now the mobile money na salon. They should have actually said, okay, we want for doing this and we want to make sure we reduce our commission base. I mean, sorry, not for the commission base. Let us increase our commission because we reduce the tax for on each transaction, but for increase the commission. That will give rise to beaucoup people in our salon. Even that man where they send a market safe. Even Okada safe. We go see and say, no, let me self join, let me begin use e-commerce. So we go for force that kind of situation for him for control the money. But right now, I can say in conclusion, we got so much cash, so much money in circulation. And economics, somebody can Google right now say, so much money, they just too feel good. So it's two things that can correct right now. Get the money off that old money where they pull and come out, left this new one where they, or secondly, open market operation where they can sell securities, they can sell bonds through the commercial bank or whatever. So if people then they buy, now money they carry so that money will come, say they can't go back now, they go na street, you reserve them. You understand? So but we fiscal and we spend it. That's a lot of facing AI. Even we fleet we minister in the use. Excuse me, we fleet in the use. Cut down. If possible, get something way more economical, way good on gas. Because mind you say, excuse me, most of those fleets where they use so now V8 engine. Whether they pay for the fuel where they go inside, taxpayers' money. Now much can they need them for maintenance them, now taxpayer money. It cuts our cost. Let us say this problem now today starts. It cuts our cost. We get government and get for no thing. I mean, we not big, we go big. Or probably we budget in finance, majority of budget finance by donor. We get for try for begin because the output stabilization, yeah. Now we the calculator can say the GDP. Now we they use. So if we not they produce, we output very poor in production, how will GDP go improve? It not going to improve. Because what you know, the dynamic, if you notice, with GDP not improve, we currency they depreciate because I'm a check. So they need to work on that. The central bank, I'm the president. I don't sack that bank. I don't sack that bank over there. No. For that, they will tell about the domination. Because it doesn't make sense. So many things that know they face. Even if you go right now, that have this accent guy the way to do, they go say this new money where they can cause problem. So that I mean, they should have empowered the mobile money, increase terminals of POS. We reduce cash flow. You understand? Reduce this physical cash and make with because so many things will have changed. I mean, also Abraham, but I mean, IMF conditionalities has never favored any nation, even not even Salon, because it counts adverse effects where the direct people that way they suffer the consequence. Now we define our consumers. When are the people they don't be? So how we going to reduce poverty? We're not going to reduce poverty because basic essential utilities definitely go increase. The cost go increase.
All right, thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome.
Where Tony they talk about mobile money. I deal with mobile money all the time. Share Networks is a business. Triple Healthy Harvest Farm is a business in Sierra Leone. So we did deal with money, and even out of Sierra Leone, I still they use my mobile money. I still able to transfer money from here direct to my mobile money. I still able to transfer money from here direct to my bank account in Sierra Leone. And mobile money get up. Yeah. When you the transfer money, you able to say, okay, on a pay triple 1,000 leons, then they go inside the app, you be able to say, well, I they pay the charges already. Not for the one the way they applying. Not for the one the way they applying. Because I send money to the closest town to the farm, we then go pick the money. Even when I don't pay the charges through the app, the money gets almost in the collect for that money day. Maybe almost want to go back and forth on the phone. Say, Paddy, I don't pay the charges. You no need for take nothing for that money. Hand over the money, give the man. But you say, no, that money will me send. In that amount, then I they take. So if we want to popularize the service, and a lot of time I don't send money, person go withdraw the money, even with the charges, the person, even this na inside tongue, the person they get their own charges. The one who they cash the money. Salon, eh? Yes, Umar, what you get for we on this one?
Well, thank you very much. I want to say thank you to Mr. Tony, and I want to say thank you to Mr. Wilfred. The problem is Tony been hit the nail on the head. Fiscal responsibility. Any country in the world, America, say from America, then they talk about that. Now, one of them draw that argument that between Democrats and Republicans talk about fiscal responsibility. If any president races on, he not get fiscal restraints or constraints, restraints, I mean, you get a problem. Because not so how the money they spend. America get up, so they can spend them. Salon not get up. So you they spend what you not get. You see, not what they give you. You need to spend what you not get. You know, that's one of the things where we don't destroy, we damage matter beer. The man coming with all the economics people and we say get, especially JJ Safar. They say they know what's in the problem. They know they don't see inside the problem. They don't see inside honest by chroma damage the economy. Then go can fix it. Where it take over. You make a better economy. You make economy will be on a life support. Well, if you get fiscal discipline, that economy the way you meet on a life support, you be able for resuscitate that economy. If you're not a good doctor, okay, but you not be a good one because what thing you do, you come, you broke. So you come in, you raise taxes, then everybody will you be know, will be there around you, will help you for win. You quadruple the amount of offices then where you open just for hire people then. That's not a fiscal responsibility. You're not disciplined. But yet then the talk say this government like responsible government. fiscal discipline a part of responsibility. Because if you not daddy, you didn't host, you know say now $1,000 you they make a month or every 2 weeks. You need to go buy motor car which cost $400,000. How you going to pay for it? You not go to now for go vacation in Hawaii where you not even pay you rent it. So now then see like say they not get people around them wait for tell them say now this will for do, but they not come with that intention. Fiscal discipline not they nowhere close to matter being government. The reason being they not come for govern. I don't say this over and over. Marabi you not come for govern. Then guy come in with the idea say we'll be sit on the watch now for 10 years. We see how una be the rubbish money. We see how una be the enjoy. Now una no more be get the nice girlfriend in a town. This time now we on tongue. Anything within a they go now we pocket. So now that style them with the then get people and willing to pay in dollars. Now then government. Fiscal responsibility now something. You talk say the past government budget be extremely bloated. Then when you come, you create more offices then. God self no. Picking what them want to this. But yet, where he go na parliament, he go talk one term. I been the listen another buffoon who don't join the now when they call KKY. Been they talk about this bloated payroll, the amount of people and na they at the time, the Minister of Foreign Affairs now, in have been the chief minister, begin to make excuses them for the reason why Marabio create their offices here, why they hire all them people here. No reason, no they. Now the brother there, now they cousin them, now people the way they identify themselves with, the man be don't talk to any they hire, nobody will not identify himself with. So now them don't hire, so now them either pay. And what side the money they go? Now there they go. Wait Tony be they talk just to say about something where them people are let me tell you, them people are not count any project except for the free education. Now the only thing that they where they spend money for, according to them. But yet we still they see picking and the write in a paper now grown. We still they see picking and the tin up the line of toilets. Toilets not there. If you know the money in a future, you picking the land good book because the land don't get money. They picking the all in a private school. And we they see how the private school and they do well. So when we talk now, yourself don't get them problem with physics. If you know they spend what you not get. This not simple economics. You not need for go take 101. Like go take some other with the talk saying get economics. You don't need that. You know they spend what you not get. Now this matter be the word. After what he moved Nabila Tunis from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because now a man na the ECOWAS what's the position so we get it? Parliament, right. So because no other position not for Giddy lady, what did he do? He create another ministry. When you create a ministry, you forget a permanent secretary, you forget another whole lot of employees them. He create another one. Will not make no sense. It's a ministry of local government, Western area or urban area. Can you believe that? Who's kind of ministry, Danny? Who's kind of ministry, Danny? That tells you how undisciplined this government. Then, guy, when Mother Beauty talk, when Mother Beauty don't ever talk economics. What I mean economics, like you go tell us, well, we know say with GPD they do this way, we try for come up this way, but because of we say we economy right now, we need to produce, we need to export the income who they get through taxes. Now this will they try for do we go do this so that we go do. When Mother don't ever explain that to you. From when they put mic before him, he don't ever explain like where president go try for explain ideas and or things that we go make the economy kind of little bit balance. He don't ever explain. He always they tell you say, we need a plant to we need to need a plant. We don't he not ever sit down as a president take responsibility. Look what happened in Ghana. The man take responsibility. This man in government, they not ever say this thing will happen. Now we fault. We sorry. Now this route we go back. We've been tried that route. They not work. We want to try this other route. Maybe it could help for cushion the problem where the people that they go through. We see a bank governor we in bringing after we all everybody talks say this money not change them. Even though where the money is named is disgraceful, because when maybe they go to one Nigeria man, why they go send money? Why they get $400? The money, the money they come up to it, he say, "Wow, you rich?" I say, "No, that's nothing." I understand that, but the currency will not be anywhere. And look, the amount of money what we spend for make the new money, and the new money come. Then give you one time when therefore get rid of the old one. That timeline they pass. Then give you another one. Then they pass. I think up to 3. What happened now? The guy disappear. Paso Siana when show up yesterday. He did dance salsa. He did dance salsa with sombrero. So this not the problem. This guy not get no clue. And the people and where they near him, we say then study economics, we know how for stabilize country economy, they not get no idea. Not to say they don't know what to do, but they not get time for that. Then time all not forget what thing they need forget because they not say whether not 5 years old or 10 years old, then some go for go sit down. So when they go sit down, then forget something that they have or for sustain their life. Long no kid we say. This is not going for go right now. Like we don't say this yesterday or day before yesterday. Inside them 2 parties because now that we get now, Lord, we hope and pray say God give we the mogofili, but not to this guy. This guy don't know anything. He not cares. The guy they provoking people them. I don't want to see president where they laughing young people them, where they mocking young people them, where they tell and say I go continue for fry or I don't give una tina, I give una bunya. Salona country than the way they give bunya. Look the situation. What in the bunya we give we? Or what me not the what in the bonya we give them? This like complete mockery. How you go laugh young people like that? Thank you very much, bro.
Thank you very much, Omar. Omar says Salon and Nede Gibonia. And for real though, we don't do on live now, yeah? Where I drive through Dove Court. All the one they were buy to buy a bus, buy. What's in the other thing they were buy? Nobody no Gibonia. Then they Gibonia again. I don't know why. This last thing, wait I buy wouldn't give me bonya. Did they? No. I try to remember, wait I buy this last thing. I open the phone line. 5 calls. Or if I think so don't do well, then no left here. 5 calls. The phone line open. But Salone give bonya again, no. I did done. People then tell me plain. But then I life safe I don't. And tell me plain, say no, brother bonya no dey. Yes, Mohammed. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, Tripoli. Thank you very much. Again, I thank you very, very much, and all the listeners. I just it's sorry for me see really this report actually how I will start them. I want to try for start them for me. We try for look at the policies of the APC before. Not so because I not get nothing for do with them, but I'm very sorry for say the trajectory we then we take before after we don't waste so much, we then take a caution and say, Lord, we caution we self the pathway the country they go, I think see we they go into a danger. We then call this austerity. I think say they were probably right. Again at the come these are two different governments them way the strategy them we then take is two separate. First of all, I go commend the president, President Bio, for so many things same way he hold, way he try for embark on. Focus the free education, I know one for talk about them because it gets not to what you spend, key able deliver what you get. I come back into this football we spend by the football from the beginning to the end. Before we spend, we did 116. After we spend, we go 117, and then no results, not the will get out of them. And we country, we get one habit where ABC, the government, they look at how much they spend, now so then they assess to which they don't do. They know they look at results. I come back to say APCB proved to ABC they were right. For men, they're able to look at the expenditure that they look at and say, no, who's out the head will be the head the wrong way, and we people and go suffer. For men, then go on to this austerity, where this government can be tell we say austerity is the worst thing and it was terrible, which was not true. And the president, again, I tell you, there's so many policies and way they implement was good. Then get laws and way they put in place really where they not even follow up. Those laws then are very, very good. Things the way they repeal was very, very good. Are they against the totally they against the how they call it, the death penalty? I go always stand for that. And it come to at a time where this country don't be in a situation like this. All countries in the world in the try for spend less. For me, they not put money per silly things. I be use 1 point back one time where I tell you say this we country Sierra Leone they spend over $1 million just for that United Nations security seat, where not a ceremonial seat at a very very difficult times where even people and we get right for made them then lobby for them. Nobody within Africa and you know they even in any African country we come up see, but we lobby for this year because it's beneficial for we at a very difficult time where the crisis things then they happen at the world where it be say uh, nobody know they try for spend anybody will they spend it is spend with sense. That's the time we took the opportunity for more Pudenka expenditure than they. Like what my last brother just talked, he's absolutely right. The things them the expenditure we then talk. If then get one, we get one assessment what they do now we country. The government they tell you say they don't employ nurses and they don't employ this. But when you check the young employment, the big guys and CSF the young employment, it's 10 times what you they talk about. IMF is not a friend of a country. Any country where IMF go for them, that country they pay that price. And where they pay that price, the citizens then go feel them. Then go feel them very, very much. You see the president, all them laws where they pass, even the law where they pass for make them increase the money for how they call it the parliamentarians in not touch them. But this one immediately when they do this new fiscal bill for 2023, he signed it immediately. That tell you exactly say there is a turbulent movement, a thing will get for happen down the road. And all them bills from that way they say, oh, you they traveling for go salon and you not get for pay no nothing for you load. It's a lie. You go pay for it. You get a choice for either pay for them or you pay for them. Or you get a choice for them for going inside salon, or you get a choice for me you able get find another way out. But now a law of the land say you dey get $1 if you pass $500 worth, you're gonna pay for the rest of them in taxes. We are going to pay for it. It is the reality. So now other again for come bet. What's in there for end up for happen? And then people that don't so many things and then they go on where ABC they don't put so much money per they not even come from us. They will take caution. We dey spend too much. What do we get for do? Instead, now the we young people and then get for squeeze. And where they abroad, we get for pay that price in big time. So now my own contribution no more for the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Ezekiel, they lock the domot for we, yeah? They left here. Ezekiel, they lock the mouth for we. If you want for talk on this one, then Saturday you go talk on them. Well, let Ezekiel lock the mouth. Ezekiel, lock the mouth for we, sir.
Thank you so much, Triple A. And all the contributors, I don't talk almost everything we did don't they talk from the beginning. We are the listen to Triple A, we they give the analogy of you na the partner, the family you let for drive vehicle. And now you get for make the choice between for buying up for you begin or you continue for drive your vehicle. Well, it's not a simple thing, all that while we then they tell we about economists, then this, that the simple logic than the opportunity cost and all, why the government not ever take any sacrifice for this issue, for this inflation or the world issue where they go around the world. They not ever take they not take no pain for let them make sure say something good happen at the country. They not take no pay, nobody not. Can you imagine outside the president for don't say because of waiting they go on me another travel again on anything way unless now something way is so pressing for this country, come and announce out to people and because of waiting they go on at this country be paying be this amount. Because of that, now they take this amount. Can you imagine the motivation where a lot of people if don't get? And he step on that and begin to tell people and say, you, the parliamentarian, because of this, with the cut on a petrol, where would they give you? You suffer for using money now, just like any other Sierra Leonean where they pay transport for go work. Can you imagine what if it don't happen? But they don't really care. They don't care about this, about the country. They don't care about the country. All these other things, then just they do it for politics. Me the death penalty. I mean, seriously, what would they talk about this death penalty? Now, would have been don't kill anybody in that country there. Now, politicians, now they've been don't kill. Judge not ever execute somebody who just kill a neighbor, either by vehicle or any other thing. And not one day here say judge don't sentence this person to death and the executor. Never. So this whole thing now for themselves. I'm serious now for themselves because the reality is you get even now they always get into that argument and then sit down back because can you imagine somebody walk into your house with a rifle and kill you, kill you woman, kill everybody and left you and then capture that person there? In Sierra Leone we know even when they sentence you to 25 years, let something happen just now by the time they know that man they walk the street. Some things and they necessary for they in place, Believe you me, now way no more we get justice system, way they allow that government can just not take that whole thing they out of context. Now the only reason that they. But besides that thing they supposed for day because people are causing mayhem now around the community. They are killing people for nothing. We then go put on a jail so now just 2 years, they walk the street again. They walk the street again. So me, I'm not moved by that. Now they use them against people because look what happened. Some riot happened, somebody went down there and started shooting people. Who are the whole responsible? Who killed people? So, let the person know they go around, we don't repeat the death penalty. So what? Who was executing people? Now, una says, una de una power. Una not even use the court system for do that. So let nobody know to dance around about that. It's no progress. Because you take it and then something happen, you go in the night and kill people. So it don't make no sense. These people they don't make no sacrifice. They are the poor people and continue for sacrifice. And sadly, poor people are come back to una, especially young people. Now una back, then go come back to una begin dance. Without they then give you freaking stupid uniform color. Then you take you put it on, you pull the other one, you throw it under, they step on a light down there on fire. Now nonsense. What it go do for you tomorrow? We don't do that. They as if then we no more, they left you on the street again. You begin for language. Instead of them tell that 5-year way then come, now you not for worry about light. Now you not for worry about water and frita. And these things are still there.
Now they go out there and dance and do all kind of things to other people. With the wind, they left you back on the street. Think twice this time. For you put somebody away, this now the democracy will get. After 5 years, if that you feel say these people, this person where you put now this place is not do right, for Pulande, how you will go reward them again another 5 years? It continue for grind your future. 5 years where you lost, you not go ever get them. Time is very precious. If you sleep 8 hours a day, 75 years, you would have slept for 25 years. So sit down. Let person they take by your future. Then they punish you for no good reason. Then they come on and they dance for them. Think twice before you go vote this time. Thank you so much, Triple. Let God bless we all.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel.
Thank you.
We'll be back tomorrow. Ezekiel don't close the door for we. We don't lay everything at table. Buckle yourself up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. The Finance Act 2023 is there to please the condition where the IMF they expect to be for please. Get ready. It's not going to be easy. Tell friend true, not poor friend. Unless we see drastic measures then be taken about waiting the powers that be they enjoy. Make them self begin feel them. If not, if na so normal they go so na so. My dear, let we ready. Me na farmer. I go begin sell to. I go begin sell to now. Alright. But it's not gonna be an easy one though. We'll go there back tomorrow, yeah? Till we meet again tomorrow. Triple AC. Ta-ta.